From soap operas and dramas to action-packed thrillers, our next guest has transformed himself into the go-to Irish guy in Hollywood.
Okay. Here to speak about his role in the new Transformers movie and the second season of the hit show Ray Donovan is actor Glenn Keogh. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I need to hear this Irish brogue.
Okay, okay.
I want to hear it full on.
You want me to sing a song, or you just want me to keep talking?
I just want to hear it. It's just so attractive.
You just ask the questions, I'll keep going.
All right, it works for me. All right. No water down.
And let me know if I need to slow down, because sometimes that's required.
Oh, really?
It's required.
It is, yeah. We tend to talk very quickly.
It's working for me, so
okay.
This pace is good.
All right. Okay.
Now, of course, you were born in Dublin. You have a thick accent. So when you were a kid growing up in Dublin, were you a fan of the Transformer movies?
You know, I wasn't quite a kid when the first one came out, giving my age away. But I was. Absolutely, the cartoons, for sure. And I've seen the 3 previous movies, and they were all fantastic. I do have nieces and nephews all around the world, in fact, who are massive Transformers fans. You know, Walter Placid with posters, they've got the figurines, you know, so massive excitement when I got cast in this movie.
So you must be the coolest uncle in the world now.
I'm getting there, you know, I'm getting there. It's been a trip, you know, and it's just the excitement in the kids' eyes. Just to, you know, to be part of the premiere in Dublin next week will be a huge thing for family. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm being talked about a lot in primary schools in Ireland right now.
Aww,
you know?
that's so sweet. Well, I mean, it's an action-packed film, always, these Transformers installments.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, Stanley Tucci, Michael Bay, I mean, the list goes on and on. What was it like being on a high-octane set like that?
It was fantastic. You know, it was a trip, and, you know, it's a little bit of a reboot from the 3 previous movies. There are another 3 coming right now. A fantastic cast. Young Jack Rayner is a new Irish star, absolute star in the making, who has come into the cast. He plays Nicola Peltz's love interest, her boyfriend. Nicola plays Mark Wahlberg's daughter. So Jack has a very heavy role in it as well, which is fantastic. So, you know, it was great. It was great to work with Michael Bay. You know, he's an absolute genius, incredible energy on set. You know,
he likes to blow up stuff too.
All the time, all the time. You know,
it's the best part.
You know, that's what I was afraid of. You know, when does something come and eat me? So I can't give too much away. But
well, tell us more about the storyline, because there's time travel, right?
Tell us something.
You know, I can't. Like I would love to, but I haven't been privy. I haven't seen the full movie myself. I see it tonight for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we know it's about time travel, right?
Maybe,
riding dinosaurs.
Maybe. You know, you gotta go and see it. You gotta go and see it. But there are, you know, there's Dinobots in this, which is publicised. So dinosaurs are the robots, and my character makes a discovery which kind of changes history. So it's interesting. It'll be a blast. It runs at 2 hours 45, so it's boom, boom, boom all the way through. You know.
Really.
From what I understand.
All right, so now we've got to talk about Ray Donovan.
Okay.
Also. It's a huge hit on Showtime.
Yeah.
How did you come to be a part of that show, and did you know that it was going to take off in this way?
You know, I'd watched it myself, obviously, and they put out a breakdown. I guess they were looking for an Irish character for a particular role, and I was lucky enough to get that role, and worked with Eddie Marsan, who plays Liev Schreiber's brother on the show, and he was a fantastic guy, you know, stellar actor, great fun. And we worked together on a really good couple of scenes, which you will see in September.
Wow, did you have a chance to meet John Voight? He's a legend.
No, he wasn't part of our scenes, so I know I would have loved to, and Liev Schreiber, a good friend of mine, in fact, Paula Malcolmson, plays Liev's wife on the show, so we had worked together previously on Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, another huge hit show.
Yeah, that was a ride also, which in that one I got my head blown off, but hey, you know, what are you going to do?
So what happens when you pick up the script and you read head being blown off today?
You know, in that particular case, it was the first time that had happened to me. You know, we'd had a run of 5 shows, and I had hoped I was going to the end of the season, and you're reading the scripts, you know, with a glass of wine or a cup of tea, and all of a sudden your character's, my head is blown off. I guess that's the end of my run.
But do you get nervous, like something may go wrong and you may actually get injured in filming that scene?
Not really, no. With the swabs attached and blood blows out, but it ain't your brains, you know. Although some people will claim half of mine are gone, but but no,
they're fully intact.
A lot of fun. But I've worked a lot of shows with the gangster role, you know. That's how I was perceived when I first came to America was, okay, Glenn, I did a lot of comedy in Australia, which is where I started my acting, and then came to the US and it was, you're a murderer. You know, and it's a running joke of my family. I've got a mother back home who wants to see me play a lovely role. You know, why don't you meet a nice girl and play a role in a romantic film? And I said, well, that's the face you gave me. You know, it's not my fault.
Well, you know, a lot of actors hate being typecasted, but it seemed to have worked for your career.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, no issue at all. You know, you get to work. It's a lot of fun. You know, and being the bad guy is a lot more fun than being the good guy.
I hear that all the time.
Good guys come last. That's what I say.
Yeah, is it because the roles are meatier?
Well, they are. It's good fun, you know, and sometimes it runs for a while, sometimes they kill you off. But it's, you know, even though there's similar type roles in the vein that you're the bad guy and you're going to murder somebody or you will be murdered, each one is a little bit different and it's interesting.
Do you have sort of a series of menacing faces that you pull out?
Not that you try, you know. I mean, it's in
that one looks. You look really tough in that middle shot right there.
That's kind of the money shot, you know. That's the hungover look, you know, and what do you want? Really? You know, it's like answering your door. What do you want? Really? So, that's the money shot.
Okay. Well, you know, on Days of Our Lives, you have a reoccurring role. You're not a gangster in that one. You're a priest.
No.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it is.
Still the Irish
refreshingly
guy,
different. You know, because I had a run on General Hospital. In fact, I played 3 different characters on General Hospital, believe it or not. Don't know if any other actor has ever done that. But I got cast on Days of Our Lives.
How'd you do that?
They brought me in as a mercenary originally, and you know I had a ski mask on for a run of 15 shows, and then they brought me back on as a bartender, as an Irish bartender, and then as an American bartender a couple of seasons after that. I then got cast in Days of Our Lives, which was fantastic. Great people to work with, as are the guys on General Hospital. But I'm playing a monk in a monastery, and I've been recurring on that show since January. So I've got more episodes coming in August, I believe. And I am a monk who is counselling a priest, one of the series regulars, Greg Vaughan, fantastic actor, who has slept with a woman. So he's questioning his faith. So he comes to me in a monastery, which, you know, some people find hilarious.
Because it's so calming in your part, too. Like, well, how does it make you feel? Do you think you're honoring God?
That's the nice guy. That's the nice guy.
It was good to see
that's what I could show my mum.
How does your mother feel about that role?
She loves it.
Like that
she
role.
wants me to play that forever.
Okay.
That's one she can talk to the neighbours about, you know.
Now, is it true that before becoming an actor, you were a soccer player? Or you were interested in soccer?
Yeah, I did play semi-professionally, yeah, back in Ireland. And an injury... one of multiple injuries kind of forced me down the acting path, believe it or not. I needed another hobby. I needed something to exert my energy. And that's when acting started for me in Australia.
Really?
But actually, prior to the soccer side of it, believe it or not, I was actually a CPA. I was an accountant.
You were an accountant?
Yeah, I went to college for 6 years, straight out of school, and became a CPA. And
you were
crunching numbers. Yeah, I was the guy who was sitting in the back room that was crunching numbers for a while.
I don't believe it.
Did it for a couple of years. Wasn't me, you know, wasn't me. And then moved into the sales and IT and technology world, and kind of from there, after a couple of years, then found acting, and that was.
Was it difficult for you to make that transition from corporate America?
Not really. Well, it was corporate in Australia, because that's where it happened. I was working selling Microsoft solutions at the time, and then when I started acting as a hobby, it kind of grew from there. Started to land roles, did some theatre, and then came to the US and said, okay, corporate world's gone now. Let's focus on the acting. So you know, it's come naturally. It's, you know, but I appreciate it because I've got that background. I've ground the arrows out. I've went to college for years. It wasn't for me, and what I do right now, you know, is fantastic. It's great fun.
So if this doesn't work out, you can always fall back.
Yeah, something to fall back on. Yeah, you know, but I don't want to fall back on that. You know.
And the great thing is, you also can watch your money and make sure people aren't robbing you, because you can count the numbers.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So since you have a soccer background, let's talk about the World Cup.
The World Cup. Okay. I'm glad you touched on that topic. Luis Suarez, who you mentioned, and not that I will defend Luis Suarez, but I am a massive Luis Suarez fan, because Luis plays plays his club football for Liverpool. Liverpool are my team back in England.
Okay.
I saw Louis play at Christmas time when I was back. Scored 2 fantastic goals, and he's a legend and a god in our club.
So
and
why is he biting people
He's made
then?
some mistakes. I don't know. You know, it's like watching your kid, you know, outplay football and kick somebody or pinch or bite somebody. It's bizarre. I didn't see it live yesterday. I landed flying from LA. First message I picked up, several messages. Check out what Louis done. So it is bizarre. I hope the guy gets some help. I hope it works out. I want him back at Liverpool. Want him scoring goals. That's what the world needs. He's a fantastic player.
Because he could be suspended for 24 months if
So
FIFA
I
really
believe,
comes down on him.
yeah, I know. And look, I don't know what's right or wrong in that situation. It's wrong what happened. It's terrible, but and it's kind of put a bit of a negative tint on the World Cup, which has been fantastic so far. It's been great.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the English were knocked out. They didn't perform. The US are doing fantastic. They could go even further.
Well, who do you think is going to take it all?
If I was to call it, it's got to come down to the Germans or the Dutch.
Yeah.
It's the Germans.
Write that
The Germans
down.
are always thereabouts. If the Dutch can keep it together, and they can perform as a team, they've got the individuals to do it. They're fantastic. I don't know. The Brazilians, I personally would love to see the Brazilians win it.
All right.
Okay.
You like
spent time in. I like them all. I've spent time in Brazil, in Rio, and I've friends down there. And it's a fantastic place. I just think there's too much pressure on those guys right now.
Yeah.
I think they're carrying the weight of the country on them, and I think it's a big call for them to go right the way through without a defeat, And now we're getting to the knockout stages. I don't know whether they'll do it, but it'll be interesting. But it's a fantastic World Cup. It's great.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, before you go, you have to tell us about your new series coming up, Scorpion.
Okay, yes. Scorpion on CBS is airing in September, and that's a big play for CBS. A lot of resources, money gone into this one, from what I understand. And I play the father of the lead character, Walter.
Okay.
Robert Patrick is one of the leads. Robert Patrick from. You would have seen he's a stellar career, but predominantly you would know him from Terminator.
Right.
He was the Terminator 2, I believe. So the storyline basically is geniuses that are pretty much hired with an incredible IQ, or hired by the government to take down terrorist organisations around the world. Yeah. So I was involved in the pilot. I've seen a lot of the footage. Looks fantastic. I think it'll be a big hit. So hopefully I'll be back.
Please come back and have fun at the premiere tonight.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Should be cool.
Be a good
Should be
time.
cool. And enjoy the movie.
Yes.
Get out and watch it.
We'll definitely be there.
From what I hear, I have friends in Australia that have already seen it at screenings down there because of the time difference. It's by far the best of the 4, and it's just a roller coaster. So.
All right, well, we can't wait. It opens this Friday.
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Come again anytime.
Absolutely. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, until then, you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.